What is it about the art of music that drives you so much?
It's an interesting question. I mean, I don't really know how to do anything else very well, so I guess I'm stuck with this.
Okay, do you feel being immersed in music and its broad variety, do you feel it allows you to constantly challenge yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's vast, it's endless what you can do and be inspired by.
Okay, and now your recent work is Mama Acoustic. What prompted you to carry out a stripped down version of the songs and take back the layers? Why acoustic renditions?
This was like kind of an act of curiosity, I think, about a lot of my songs are written with production and live performance in mind, and I wanted to see where the songs where they stood when it was just simple.
Okay, and a lot of the focus on the album, you know, it's very spare and has a very reverberous effect, and it's mainly just your voice, which just sounds so great, and it's so spare, it's just you and the acoustic guitar. How much of a focus and how vital of a focus was the whole voice aspect of it?
I mean, that was everything. I think that was the biggest challenge and the biggest, yeah, I mean, the thing I learned the most about being my own producer. The voice is the thing I always want to hide, because, you know, you don't want to hear your own voice sometimes. And I often see my voice as another instrument in the choir, instead of like the headmaster, you know. So I really wanted the voice to be at the front, and I wanted the voice to convey the emotion that was behind all these songs, and also the emotion that was behind the songs, like after they'd gone to bed, in a way, because I'd already put out the originals, and so it was like a small rousing.
One of the songs, Los Angeles, I mean, I know it's been talked about. Can you tell us a bit more about the impetus behind the song? It's about love and friendship. What's the story behind the song? Is it a homage to the city?
A little bit. A friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, was actually leaving LA at the time that I wrote that song, and I knew I was going to be leaving where I had been. I had left Los Angeles once, and yeah, there's kind of like four friends that the song, or four characters in the song, myself and then 3 other close friends of mine, and yeah, it's about leaving and about loving a place, loving people. Yeah. So in a way, it is a love song to LA, but it could really be to anywhere, you know. I think anybody could sing it to their city.
Your music often creates stark visual images. Do you enjoy telling stories?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I am a storyteller, and I am a visual thinker, I think, and so I think that comes into my work. I know I'm having a visual experience whenever I'm performing or writing, and some of those images are dark, I guess.
Now, you know, you've had a busy year working alongside Dan the Automator, and I have to ask you, you know, reading some of the YouTube comments, a lot of fans discovered you via the soundtrack for Stoked Becomes the Colour of the Song, which is featured at the end of the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that experience like, working alongside Clint Mansell? It must have been a heck of a highlight for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, the director of the film, Director Park, invited me to write a song for the film. He had a specific sort of idea in mind about when it would happen in the film. So I watched the movie, I met with Park, I, you know, kind of researched, so to speak, the character. It was almost as though I was acting or something. There was kind of like a method actor kind of feeling to it. And actually, that was before Clint came on board, and so then when Clint came on board, the song was finished, so he was kind of like, had a tight schedule, so he'd call me, oh, can you play this thing, or, you know, and so we became friends through that experience. And it was, yeah, it's thrilling, sure.
And another song that you featured on which really stands out is the one done with Deltron 3030, My Only Love.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It must have been a cool experience working with someone who's such a talented individual.
Yeah, well, Dan Dan and I are close buddies. You know, we made a record together, and we have our side project, and that just came about of like, hey, like, come sing this for me. You know, it was just like a fun afternoon.
I've read that you performed at the Clinton Global alongside the Roots.
I did, yeah.
Performing in front of Bill and Hillary Clinton, that must have been...
Chelsea too, woo!
Chelsea, yeah. What was the experience like for you?
Oh, that was also quite a thrill. My friend Questlove invited me to play a couple of my songs, and they also joined me on stage. There was like, yeah, a lot of music from a few different artists like Elvis Costello, and yeah, it was a surreal experience to say the least. But I mean, regardless of what anyone thinks of Bill Clinton, he is a charming fellow.
When you play live, your live performances, you've been commended for often. You've been dubbed one-woman orchestra.
Yeah.
Such a great artist when you perform live. You seem to get lost in your performances. Does playing live make you feel liberated?
Yes, it does. Yeah, I when I'm really in, and when the audience is really in, and like everybody's really present, I mean, there's no other place, you know, really.
Okay, and you know, but you're talking about the audience. You say when you play live, you want people to think about themselves and the people they love, because that's what you feel art is about. Can you elaborate and tell us more about that?
Yeah, you know, I guess the times that I've been most moved is when I'm able to go to that place. When I'm on stage performing, for instance, my friends are with me in a way. You know, my lovers are with me, my family's with me. Like those images and those people live inside those songs, and so it's really personal whenever I play, and I want people to also have a personal experience and to be reminded of their love and their loss and their pain and their sorrow and their joy. I want all of that, you know, because I'm interested in being on stage because I get to communicate and I get to have this connection between the audience. I don't really necessarily need it to be about me.
I understand that you're a big fan of running, and it's almost like a religious experience for you. Have you managed to, whilst you're in London, perhaps?
I did, yes. I went running today around, actually, my hotel is quite near Buckingham Palace. So I was in, I think, a rather sort of tourist area. I don't know exactly, but I went running in St. James Park, saw some storks. Yeah, I had a nice time.